What genre do you like? What do you want to play? Let me help you save on what you got to pay. I'm going to do a quick little rundown of a way to save some of your hard-earned cash and find some discounts or free stuff. I want to start talking about just basically free stuff today, places where you can get some nice free stuff. And I'm going to start with the kind of not so good stuff and work into the better sites to go to. A lot of these sites you're probably going to be familiar with, which will make it a bit easier. So I first want to talk about the GOG site. GOG does have free games, but it's kind of a pain to get to because on the GOG store, you think you could just go down to the price range and put $0 to $0 and do a search that way. But what's going to happen is you're going to get loaded up with a lot of like demos, which demo is not really free. And that's the reason why, just to let you know, I'm not going to cover anything with Steam because Steam, usually a lot of these websites are like, Steam dropped 7 games free that you can have today, like all 7 are demos. Steam does have some free stuff, but it's very short-lived. So it's like you get maybe a day or two to download it. So it's going to make it hard to cover. Steam, you're on your own there. Let's go back to GOG. So I don't consider demos really free games. So what we want to do is we want to filter out all these demos. The easiest way to do that is kind of hidden on the GOG site is to go down into the tags here. And you want to go to show all tags. And if you scroll down into the F, hidden away is a tag for a free game. And just apply that, that'll change it up. And now you're going to get everything that's a free game. There's kind of a reason why these are free. So I know making games isn't like the easiest thing in the world to do, but this is one that caught my attention here when I was just looking at the GOG site, as to give you an example of why this basically will be free. It's a game that's actually technically an early act, but if you go down into the reviews, you can see here, but the first boss I realized that trying to heal in combat would crash the game. This one, some things I do, such as healing myself, give me an error and take me out of the interaction with the other things, but unfortunately when you heal, the game crashes. So just keep that in mind when you're on the GOG site, is that you're probably gonna get games that are free because they kind of should be, but you may find something that's good. Like for instance, if you like Daggerfall, you can get the GOG cut there for free. Another site that you'll want to check out for free games is Indiegala. Indiegala is actually pretty good place to buy some Steam keys, but they do have this freebie section. Now, this is kind of another one where there's kind of a reason why they're going to be free. You're not going to get like Cyberpunk on here or Doom Eternal or anything like this, but you may find something that is kind of to your liking here. I believe all of these are going to be just direct Windows executable games. None of them are going to be like Steam keys or GOG redeem codes or anything like that, but don't forget you could always add them to your like Steam launcher as a non-Steam game. And they've actually got quite a bit of them. They've got about 4 pages of free games on this site. So now I want to get to the ones that you're probably going to want to definitely bookmark to repeatedly visit. One of them is really one from a platform that I'm not too fond of, but it's a good one to get for the free stuff, and that's going to be Epic Games. Epic Games, they do have a section of free games, and this is where you'll find a lot of games that like Genshin Impact, Grand Chase. These are free to play. They're actually going to be pay to play, so be careful there. One thing that Epic Games does is they have in their free games every week, they're giving away at least one game that would normally be a game that you pay for. For instance, right now this week they're giving away a game called Turmoil, which is normally looks like it's a $13 game. You can get it completely for free and keep it in your Epic Games library. And they're going to give away a game every Thursday that will last for a week most of the time. So as you can see, this one's going to be up there until January 16th, this coming January 16th, Thursday at 8 a.m., which I believe is going to be 8 a.m. Pacific time. So adjust that to whatever schedule you're at. And then starting on January 16th, they're going to be giving away Escape Academy, which I believe is like a puzzle game. That's usually a $20 game. Come to this site, check out what's free, notice what's coming up. Now, around Christmas time, they actually did this daily. They're giving a daily game away for free instead of weekly. So just kind of keep your eyes peeled for what they show is going to be the next date that they're offering a game. So that's really the only reason to go with Epic. I'm just going to say that right now. Now, a big one. If you are a Prime member, you have to get on Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming is all free games as long as you have Amazon Prime. And these games are games that you can download and keep even after you're no longer an Amazon Prime member. They're still your games. Amazon Prime also does have a launcher. However, they don't only go through Amazon Prime when they're giving away free games. So they also use GOG and they use Epic. Right now, the big one looks like it's BioShock 2 Remastered. You can get that completely free using Amazon Prime. It'll give you a GOG code and add it directly to your GOG library. And it's super easy. Like, actually, this game I'm going to go ahead and get now. I've been kind of interested in trying it out. This is through, as you can see in the bottom right corner, will tell you what it is. This one's through Epic Games. If it's a Crown, it's going to be through Amazon Prime. All you got to do is go to it, click on Get Game, boom, it's now in my library. That's all it takes. Like, keep in mind, be very careful because they also have Amazon Luna, and Amazon Luna is kind of like a Game Pass, where as long as you have that subscription, you're going to have access to all of the Amazon Luna games. But once that's over, I'm pretty sure you're going to lose access to those games. Whereas if you scroll down and you get the games included with Prime, these are the ones you can keep, and there's actually quite a bit of them, and they're always, just like with Epic, they're updating usually on Thursday mornings. Those are the big sites that I want to plug. Now I want to talk about something that you're probably going to want to download, and that's the Heroic Games launcher. Just like your Epic launcher, just like Steam, it'll launch the games for you. But you can actually set up your GOG, your Epic Games, and your Amazon library in Heroic Games and add them all basically into one. Also, it has the option to add them directly to Steam, so once you have them in, then you can just select on that. If you want to run everything through Steam, it'll run it through Heroic Games launcher to launch the game. So I'm actually going to bring up my Heroic Games launcher really quick so you can kind of get an idea, so you can kind of see what I have in here, and I'll mark it, which, if it's Epic Games, if it's Amazon, or if it's GOG. And you can actually even add those series of games in as well too, which I've had to do with a couple Amazon ones because of the way that the folder is set up on my system. Whatever's not colored in has not been installed. I do want to point out that the Heroic Games launcher, as nice as it does have a couple issues that I've had to work out with it. So if you do get it, which I highly recommend getting, and you run into these issues, I just want to show you really quick how to fix these. So what I've done here is I've installed an Amazon, an Epic, and a GOG game that do not show up as being on my Heroic launcher. Now, normally you can go up here and refresh everything. They should show up. But if they don't, for Epic Game, as you can see, I have Alex Kidd here. It's not, as it shows, it's installed. Go to Settings, unsync your Epic Games, give it a second to do that, resync your Epic Games, and then go back to your library, let it load, which can take a minute depending on if you have a lot of stuff. And there we go. Now Alex Kidd is showing as being installed, and I can run it through the Heroic launcher. For GOG games, and as you can see, actually that game I just got is already showing up on my Heroic launcher that I just got from Amazon. For GOG games, there's no option to sync. So what you want to do for a GOG game, if it doesn't show up, is click on Install and go to Import. And then you want to go to where you had that GOG game and just click on it and choose that, and that will install it. And now it will show as being on my list. There it is. For Amazon, if it doesn't show up, do an install, change the folder, go to your Amazon Games folder, choose that, and click Install. And that'll do the same thing as GOG. And now it'll show up on my list as being active. Now, there's also another good thing about Heroic Launcher, is that you could just install it directly into the Heroic Launcher folder and you just run it through Heroic Launcher. So you don't have to worry about things like the Epic Games, Amazon, or the GOG launchers to play it. And now it's installed, and it's installed through Heroic Launcher. Now, for Steam Deck users, Heroic Launcher does exist. You can also use that on your Steam Deck. So you'll have now access to your Epic, Amazon, and GOG games on your Steam Deck. All right, so now we'll go back to the website, and we're going to talk about some free games that you can get that are basically fan-made stuff. And we'll run through these as quick as possible so we can get to the gaming. First one is, if you're a fan of Resident Evil, and if you're a fan of Castlevania, you can pick this up for free. It's called Residentvania. And anything that I'm telling you about, just do a Google search and you should find it pretty easy. So if you like the old style Castlevania, that's stage-based basic stuff, then you may want to check this out. Another one, if you're a Castlevania fan, somebody has gone in and taken the first Castlevania and remade it to be more like a Metroidvania game, Castlevania revamped. And this one is, I'm telling you, as tough as nails. But it has that old school Castlevania style to it. However, it is basically, instead of being stage-based, it's going to be the full castle, like playing Symphony of the Night. So if you're into that one, that's a good one to pick up. Another kind of crazy one to get that I haven't gotten a chance to really sit down and play, but evidently has got some great reviews. And it looks like you can play this online, is a Bobo's Big Adventure, which is basically a hodgepodge with so much crazy stuff in just one game. And if you can see the video, you've already got Kid Niki, you've got the Renegade guy, along with Double Dragon. And what this does is this isn't just your standard fighter. This has other games in it as well, too, other game styles. You can see he was doing Legend of Zelda style. So this might be something, if you want something kind of wild and crazy, to go ahead and check out. Another one, if you're into first-person shooters and you're also into Contra style games, there's Mini Doom and Mini Doom 2. And these are basically your action style shooting games, if you can see this video, in the Doom universe and completely free to play. I played actually some of them, and I recommend them if you like that 8-bit action style. For fighting game fans out there, if you can't afford Tekken 8 for free, you could get Super Fighter, which actually was a game that I used to play back in the 90s on PC. Now, keep in mind, it is a PC game, and it came out around the time of Street Fighter 2. So don't expect like super high quality, but someone's basically taken Mugen, modified it to actually bring back this game. They've added a little bit to it as well, too, special move for everybody, but it's free. So if you want something to waste some time on fighting, this isn't a bad choice. Then there's I Want to Be the Guy. I Want to Be the Guy is basically an action platformer, I guess you could say, that's meant to screw you at every corner. So it's free. If you want something that's super difficult that you'll probably spend weeks and months just trying to get through, this is the game that you want. Another one, if you have never played this game, you owe it to yourself to play that, and that's Cave Story. This is another super old one. I don't want to say it's like a Metroidvania. It kind of is a Metroidvania, but it kind of feels more as stages. But it's one of the games that sparked off this whole indie craze. And I'm just going to plug it because I forgot to find a website. Another one that you may want to look for if you're looking for like a weird puzzle one is Yume Nikki, which is just kind of this random run around until you find items, but it's also another one that really started the indie craze. But if you haven't done Cave Story, definitely get Cave Story. And then we have, if you're an SMT fan, Synchronicity is actually free and playable. You can find it out there, which is a Metroidvania style game using Pyro Jack and Jack Frost. I haven't put too much time into this, but what I did do was actually pretty enjoyable. So if you like the SMT universe and you like Metroidvanias, or actually if you like just one of those, definitely go and look for this one. Another thing I wanted to mention, that if you miss Perfect Dark, if you miss GoldenEye, Perfect Dark and GoldenEye are now playable on PC. Now for this, you have to let you know you have to have a ROM. Good luck finding that on your own. But if you have them, you can get programs to run them, one of which is called 1964, which will run both GoldenEye and Perfect Dark, but you can now use a mouse and keyboard for it, so it's going to feel a lot better playing it. And then the final one that I want to show you guys, the big one, if you don't know it already, Final Fantasy Renaissance. If you love the Final Fantasy series, you definitely want to get this. It's a remake of the Final Fantasy with a whole bunch of new added stuff into it, a whole bunch of added new classes, a lot of fixes done, but it still retains that old school NES Final Fantasy style to it. So with that, that's everything that we're going to talk about. We're going to start doing this each week, and we're going to go over mostly what Epic and Amazon Prime are doing, because GOG and Indie, Gala don't add a lot. If you have anything that you want to add, definitely leave a comment about it, because I want to find more free stuff out there too. And then next week, we're going to talk about like discounts, places to go to get good discounts, ways to find good discounts.